Welcome back to the channel. So today we are talking with Matteo of Global Banks. We're going to be talking about global banking, both for personal and corporate. So welcome and thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Let's dive in. Tell me a little bit more about what is Global Banks and how do you help your international clients?
Yeah, Global Banks is an international company that is focused in open relationship with the most important international banks. This means that we are official introducers of today more than 60 banks in the world, like JP Morgan Chase, Citibank, HSBC, DBS, etc. And what we do is to introduce the client in the bank with a preferred channel, because the bank gave us official agreements, so is trusting us, and we can do something with the bank that usually you can't do if you go alone in a bank. So basically the most important thing is that we can open 100% remotely all the accounts we work with. For example, we work with JP Morgan Chase in the US. You maybe know that is pretty hard to open it remotely and also physical, but knowing people inside the banks, because in the last few years we traveled a lot all over the world to know the people inside the banks, to know the directors, etc. So today we can just refer the clients, open the account remotely, and also with less exits. This means that, for example, there are some banks that ask for 1 million deposit, for example. We can make the deposit like 10 times lower. So we can open accounts with very lower deposit. Usually we can also make zero the fees. So you know that some banks request for maintenance fees, etc. We can also make them in zero. And yes, with also little less time, because the banks we work with, we can usually open them like between 7 days and a month.
Interesting. Perfect. Thank you for the explanation. And I know banking is becoming increasingly more and more difficult. I would say from what we've seen, even in the last year and a half, it's become quite a bit more difficult depending on the jurisdiction. So it's definitely an interesting service. And I know you work with clients globally, but where are a lot of the clients that you work from typically from or based?
Yeah, it's hard to say because we are like an international company. We have clients from all over the world. We work with US citizens, with lots of people from South America, like Panama, also Venezuela or Bolivia, in country in the South America. We work obviously a lot with Europeans, because we are the main board is Italian, so we work a lot with Italians, Spanish people, Dutch also, and we have some people that are from also Asia, so like Iranian for sure, people from Hong Kong, etc. And something very important is that we have also option for people that are coming from like blacklist or sanctioned countries. So we usually can help people from Iran, from Afghanistan, from Russia. We always have to check their profile for sure, because we have to check where they are resident, what kind of business do they have. But usually we can also help these kind of clients.
That's really interesting, because it is extremely difficult for blacklisted or restricted sanctioned countries, the individuals, to open bank accounts, even if they are resident elsewhere, if they hold bank accounts that are elsewhere. Simply having that citizenship makes it quite difficult. So that's very unique.
It's for this that if the client is coming from a blacklisted country and he is resident in another country, for us it's very easy to open an account. So we can do it like he's from a whitelist country. If he's from a blacklisted country and he's living there, we just have to make some more due diligence to understand some more information about him. But we also have some option for them if they still live there and they have no other residency.
Interesting. Okay, thank you for explaining that. So just a general overarching picture, what are some of the benefits of having potentially an offshore bank account, banking diversification?
Okay. Yeah, it depends on your needs, because we can open both personal and corporate accounts, so it depends first of all if you need a personal account, and if you need a personal account for what. Because for example, you are maybe a millionaire, or you have a little high net worth, and you want to make sure to have like an asset protection. protection, you know. So having different personal bank accounts for your where you can put different amounts of money can help you having like more security, because if you have a bank in Switzerland with some amount of money, and then you have a bank in Singapore, for example, you know, you are making like an asset protection, and your money are more safe than having all of them in just one account. If you have a corporate account, is pretty the same, you know, because having like international accounts let you to protect your corporate money, and you can also access to different services that maybe not an international bank doesn't give you, no? For example, accessing to credit, to relationship managers that helping you invest your money with the banks that allows you to do it, and other services that usually local banks don't provide, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting, and we are also really big proponents of that as well, having banking diversification. I know we've all heard of the 5 flag theory. I think now it's probably more like the 10 flag theory and onward from there. But banking is such an important aspect of that. And it's interesting as well that you mentioned about credit, because a lot of individuals, especially if they're leaving their home country or they're leaving their country of residency, they want to get into one or potentially multiple different country systems, and credit is a big part of that in certain countries as well.
Yeah, sure. Usually it's pretty hard also access to credit in other countries, because you are like a foreign for this country, so they don't know if you are a good payer, if you had a good history, you know, if you have a good credit. So usually it's very hard to access to credit, to credit cards also in other countries. But yes, doing the good process and make all the steps in the right way, we can also, and we are introducing our clients to, for example, credit cards in the US or in other countries. For example, we have good credit cards in Switzerland also that are for foreigners, so not just for Swiss people. And are great services, because maybe all of us knows that the US credit cards have like the bigger benefits, you know, in terms of points, rewards, insurance, and all of the products related to the credit cards.
Yeah, most definitely. And from what we see, and I'm sure you've seen this as well, without having a banking relationship at a bank or with an individual, it can typically take anywhere from 6 to 12 months of banking in a country and being in that country's system and really showing that you are worthy enough of getting a credit. And a lot of the time the limits will be lower as well. So it definitely helps to have a relationship to start with.
Correct. Yes. Usually you have to create your and build your credit score. You have to be a client of the banks for a lot of months, like you said, or years. So yeah, making the process in another way with a official introducer, you can just save time and save steps, you know. So these are the benefits of doing it. Also, without having any connection, for example, with the country where you are going to access the bank or the credit. So, for example, accessing to US credit cards, you don't have to have, like, for example, an address, a house, a green card. You can just access to it, being a foreigner and having no connection with the US, for example.
That's excellent. So on that topic, let's talk about, and I know this could be very granular, but just overarching, what are some of the general documents that you need to see from someone when opening new accounts?
Yeah, well, depends on the bank, because usually banks asking for the basic documents like passports, ID card, etc. But usually there are other banks that ask for additional documents, you know. So usually, first of all, we have to understand the information about the client. So our managers, they have to understand where is he from, what kind of business do he has, residence, what kind of account do we need. So for example, if investment account, checking account, etc. And once we find the best bank for him and the client want to proceed, our team will ask him the right documents for each bank that is going to open. That, like I said, usually you have to send the basic documentation like passport, etc. And then, for example, if it's corporate account, the operating agreement, for example, and the documents related to the company, like bank statements, etc.
Perfect. So pretty straightforward. I mean, it sounds like it would certainly vary depending on the account and the type of business and the individual.
Yeah.
But I would say for the most part, very straightforward documentation that is needed, it sounds like.
Yeah, correct. Usually the documents are pretty. No, I didn't understand the question. Sorry. So just cut.
Yeah, no
Sorry.
question. It was just a
Okay,
comment.
okay.
But I do have
Sorry.
another, so no worries.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a few jurisdictions of individuals who are able to open accounts with you. Are there any restrictions for Americans specifically? Because there are restrictions, of course, when Americans are living abroad and filing taxes. So how does that work for banking?
Yeah, Americans are not like in blacklist, but yes, there are some jurisdictions that don't like so much U.S. citizens or residents, for example, and usually they don't allow U.S. citizens to open an account in those banks. Well, we have, for example, an example in Swiss banks that for like a government law, U.S. citizen can't open an account there. Remotely or physical, it's basically like impossible. But we have, for example, some banks in Switzerland and in other countries like Switzerland where we can open account for U.S. citizens. The only thing is that usually they just ask for a little higher deposit. So we just talked like yesterday with a U.S. client for this Swiss bank that usually for European people or other people that are not from the U.S. The minimum deposit is around $150,000, for example, because it's a very high institute, private institute, etc. For US citizen, it's like around 200,000, 250,000. So this is the only thing. Not all the banks ask for a higher deposit. Usually we can do it also with the same deposit. But yes, the answer is that yes, we can help them accessing them with the same benefit or just with a little deposit. A little higher deposit.
Yeah, okay. And then it's also important to note as well that there may be additional filing if individuals have bank accounts. So you want to make sure that you have an accountant who understands that filing if you have a bank account offshore as an American.
Yes, and we are going to for sure help you understand where is and which are the best jurisdiction for you. Because being U.S. citizen, maybe open an account in a country where is very good for a European, maybe it doesn't fit so much for you. Okay, so we have to understand the right jurisdiction, and then we can for sure introduce you because we know that this bank in this country can allow you to open an account there.
So let's talk about payment processors. That's also something that you assist with. So a payment processor is something similar. I think Stripe is a very popular one, especially in the US, but there are many others that I think are a little bit less well known, but it is becoming similar to banking, increasingly more difficult to open or to keep open payment processors, just depending on potentially where you have residency, where your business is registered. So how do you help solutions with payment processing?
Yeah, sure. We know today, working with lots of clients, that Stripe or similar processors are giving like little problems, because they are closing accounts to people that, for example, owns LLCs in the US. They have like high commissions, because, for example, European people with LLCs that are paid by their clients in euros. Have like a very high commission with Stripe because they have like the 2.9 commission for just receiving the amount of money, but they receive euros, but Stripe doesn't allow you to have euros in the account. You need to convert them in dollars. So they ask to you like a 3% additional commission just to convert the currency,
Wow.
So yes, we found some products. We have some payment processors that just have like 2% commission on everything. Okay, you can receive money. You can in every kind of currency. So also for European people with LLCs that have to receive money in euros, you can do it. You don't need to convert them in dollars, and you just have a 2% commissions. This works also for US citizens, okay, for LLCs, for companies in the United Kingdom, for UAE companies, European companies also, and are processors that not just have a very low commission, but other benefits, like for example, different type of payment methods, like credit cards, debit cards, how to say it, split payments, pay now, pay later. They have a great assistance, so are not like a Stripe that you have to text them via email, they are going to answer you after 2 days, etc. You will have like the personal phone of one of the relationship managers of the software. So yeah, they are great products that our clients are liking so much. and are for sure great products to let you save a lot of money, because if you have a business that maybe is moving like tens of thousands of dollars monthly, and you are going to save like 3, 4, or also 5% on commissions, that are like a little money that you can save.
Yeah, it definitely cuts into the profit year after year.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a very interesting offering with Amex Black. Explain a little bit more about what that is.
Yeah, sure. For who doesn't know, the American Express Black is like the most important credit card in the world, the Centurion one, because it's a credit card that you can't request via website, etc. But just American Express invites you with an official invitation if you are a client of American Express since many years, if you spend like $100,000 yearly with them, and yearly they send just a little invites to people all over the world. But there are some banks in the world, in some jurisdictions, that allows his clients to access to the American Express Black Centurions in a like preferred channel. So you can just never been a client of American Express. If you are going to open an account in this bank and you are going to deposit an amount that usually is around $1 million in this account, so we can make like a letter to with the bank to then reference you in the American Express, and you will get access to the credit card in a guaranteed way, okay? Without being client of American Express, as said. You can also never add any credit card, any credit score, nothing of this, and for sure the benefits are very high, because a lot of status. The American Express Centurion has an additional concierge. You can access to network events just for American Centurion owners, so you can meet a lot of people, very high reward points, so a lot of benefits for this car, and US people, UAE people, and Swiss people, for example, love it so much because they understand the benefits of this car.
And if an individual is looking to get into this program, do they need to get into the US banking system first, or can they just access the credit card?
Usually the banks that works in this way today are not in the US. So we have banks in other countries that are not based in the US, but as we said before, we can also help US citizens to access to those banks. They just have to deposit $1 million as other people from other countries, and they can we can request for them the credit card.
Perfect. So is there anything else that has not been included in this conversation around banking offshore, opening accounts with you?
Well, some of the important information that we have to understand is that working with more than 60 institutions, we can help in a very tailored way the people, because there are people that, for example, need crypto-friendly accounts also. So yes, we have option of personal accounts and corporate accounts that allows to make payments in cryptos, and also some banks with internal wallet. So you have to know that there are two different types of banks that are crypto friendly. One, the first option is that they just allows you to receive payments from exchanges like Binance, Kraken, etc. And there are other option of crypto friendly bank accounts that have like an internal wallet. So you can host cryptos, you can receive payments in USDT, for example. And so depending on what you have to do, for example, we can just help you understand the best bank for you, that better fits for you in the best jurisdiction with, for example, one of the option of the crypto friendly use, So then we can also for example, open, like we said in the beginning, like investment accounts. So if you, for example, are searching for a bank account that helps you to save your money, to make a better asset protection, and you want to put your money in a very big and very strong account and invest them with the bank, so you don't have to put them in exchange, etc. We can also help you. There are lots of options in Switzerland, in Singapore also, in Panama, for example, depending on what you like, etc. You can just transfer your money in this account. You will be assigned by a relationship manager that will help you invest your money and have like different types of interest yearly. So yeah, basically it.
Very interesting and very important about crypto accounts as well, especially as we are in the end of 2025.
Yeah.
A lot of individuals looking to convert into fiat or cash out. So I assume that's something as well where the funds can be converted into fiat in some bank accounts.
Sure, yes, to convert them in fiat and also for cashing out. So a lot of clients, for example, came to us because they have like 100,000 or also millions like dollars in cryptos, you know, and they need a bank for cashing out. And there are little banks in the world that allows you to do it, also with high amounts, you know, because we know some people that used to use Wise, for example, and you know, they tried to make like a shout and receive some money from exchanges, etc., and the account was closed immediately. So it's very important to open an account that allows you to make a shout, to host your cryptos if you need to host cryptos, etc. And also there are some options that maybe can interest to you. That is that some crypto-friendly banks allows you to host cryptos or digitally in the digital wallet, or also put them like in a USB and save it in the I don't know the name in the cashier of the bank, you know, because are like physical bank with help me with I don't know the name where you can save like gold and money, you know.
Oh, the vault.
The vault of the bank, and you can put your USB in the vault of the bank, so it's very safe. Yeah.
Very interesting. So if you have cold storage, for example, then you can put the cold storage wallet into the vault.
Into the vault of the bank, yeah, physically there. If it's something that you need, or you can just have your cryptos digitally in the bank account, and that's it, depending on what you like.
Very interesting. I have never heard of that. So that's a really great offering. If you're really looking to keep some of your funds maybe in a hot wallet or in a bank account, but most of it in cold storage.
Yeah, correct. Depending also, everything is regarding like asset protection, you know. So depending on what you need, you can, if you have this need, you can just host a little cryptos digitally in the wallet, because maybe you can just make a shout, you want to convert them in fiat, etc., and then maybe you want an amount of crypto like physically on a USB, you know, for making them very safe for maybe the future, etc. So you can just host them on a USB, and the bank is going to save them there in their caveau. Now I remember the word, in their caveau, and it's a safe way to host them.
Very interesting. Okay, so I know if clients are interested in working with you and learning more, you do offer an initial call to really get to understand the client and their needs and what it is that they're seeking for premium banking accounts. So explain to us a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, usually what we do is to understand first of all your needs and your information. So our team, our manager usually are going to schedule with you a call, and they are going to ask you some information that are related to your person or to your company, depending on which kind of account you need. So for example, they are going to ask you, as we said before, also like your citizens, your residents, your niche of your business, your yearly income, for example, just to understand which kind of bank can better fit for you in the more than 60 institutions that we have. After this call, we're going to make some we are going to talk with the banks, okay, to understand and to know which one of those banks we are working with could accept you. So for example, let's make an example. You are a US citizen, you have a LLC, and you need a European account for your LLC to receive payments also from European people, because maybe your business is international. You just you don't want to just receive money in dollars, but you also want to receive euros. You know that physical banks in the US just can accept dollars. So we are going after this call to check with the European banks that we have that accepts LLCs if they can accept your profile. So we are not going to send any documents of you. We are not going to ask any documents of you in this step, but we are just going to talk with the bank and say to them, okay, we have this kind of profile of client. Could you accept it in your bank? It's like a pre-application, okay, we call. And if the bank answer to us positively, so we say, they say, yes, we can accept this client. So our team will come back to you, scheduling another call, and we are going to make you a proposal. with the bank. They will just tell you all the bank details, etc. And if you want to proceed, so our team will request to you, will ask to you all your documents, and will manage all the application. So the certification of the documents, the translation of the documents if needed, because maybe you are like a US citizen but you need to open an account in Singapore, so you have to like translate documents and notarization, etc. Or our lawyer team will make everything for you. And once the account is open, the bank will contact you via mail, because for sure we are going to use your personal details in the application. So the bank will send you an email with your credential, with your password, etc. You can just access to the bank, and if the bank needs a minimum deposit, you can do it directly with the new account number.
Perfect. So fairly straightforward, very smooth, and the initial process really ensures that they understand the client profile, more about yourself, your business, what it is that you're seeking before actually going to apply for any bank accounts, which is amazing.
Correct. Yes. Usually, our clients love so much it because they don't have to think about nothing, because we usually make an example. If you, for example, are a foreigner, okay, that you want to open an account in Switzerland, like a US citizen want to open an account in Switzerland, well, like we say that doing it alone is basically impossible, but let's make that you could do it. What do you have to do? You have like to book a flight. You have to move to Switzerland. You have to book an hotel or an apartment for weeks, because you can't just go to the bank one time, but the relationship managers will ask you to go multiple times. So you have to stay in Switzerland maybe also months. So lots of stress, you have to send all the documents, you have to talk with your lawyers, and you have to manage everything by yourself. Lots of money to go there, less of time. So doing it all by our side and 100% remotely, you can just stay to your office, to your home, you can just travel in these days that allows us to open an account. You just have to send to us the documents, and that's it. So very easy and very useful.
Very easy, very straightforward. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing so much more about the world of banking and unfortunately the complications that are now coming along, especially with offshore banking. But that's exactly why you are here and what you help clients with.
Yeah, exactly correct. Today the banks are closing so much their doors. International banks are closing so much the due diligence, the KYC that are going to make to their clients. So it's every day is more difficult and harder to open an international account. So having official introducer like us that works directly with the banks helps you doing something that maybe in some months it's impossible, because we have banks that today we can open an account there, and we are the only company that we can do it. Okay, and so it's useful, and the people that need this service understand so much the benefits of doing it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being here. If you are interested in opening an offshore account, whether it be personal, corporate, there is a link below where you can book in an initial call to have a further conversation. The team will see a little bit more about your needs and then get the process underway from there. And thank you for being here, Matteo.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for the opportunity. And yes, for sure, our team will reach you out for the free consultancy. So let's see you there.